Japan is a fascinating country that is rich in history, culture, and spectacular scenery. Its capital, Tokyo, is an ultra-modern urban jungle populated by elegant buildings, thrusting skyscrapers of glass and steel in between lush green parks with ancient shrines and temples.
Smart, slick, electric, and futuristic looking, it feels like a brave new world that is serene and exciting. Familiar, but unmistakably different.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
Welcome to Japan.
Welcome to Japan.
Welcome to Japan. Yeah.
Formula E.
At night, it becomes a magical Blade Runner-like metropolis lit up in neon. Its famous hoardings advertising the world's biggest tech and fashion brands in bursts of electric color.
Tokyo is the busiest city in the world and possibly the brightest. Street racers landed in the Japanese capital to welcome its newest Formula E team for Season 5, motorsports powerhouse Nissan.
I think we will be very, very competitive from the beginning. That's our mission.
Nissan made a huge statement when they named Sebastian Buemi as one of their drivers. The Season 2 champion will lead the line for the Japanese giants.
And the departure of Renault means Nissan will be pairing with three-time Constructors' Champions EDAMS.
Let's be clear, people, Nissan are here to win races.
Let's check out what we've got coming up for you guys in this Street Racers Japan special.
Welcome to Street Racers.
In this episode, we'll be checking out the design process for consumer electric cars and the new Nissan Formula E Gen 2 car livery.
Taking a special behind-the-scenes tour of Nissan's cutting-edge Opama plant to see what it takes to build the world's best-selling electric car.
Annual production capacity is around 240,000 units per year.
Rewinding back in time at Nissan's Heritage Museum. But first, let's head to Nissan's showroom concept store at the famous Ginza Crossing in the heart of downtown Tokyo.
We spoke to one of Nissan's connecting staff to get the lowdown.
This place is called Nissan Crossing. It was established in September 2016 as a base for spreading Nissan intelligent mobility. This is called Nissan IMX Kuro. It's a very new concept car that we produced. It's a futuristic car. It has a self-driving. As you can see, it's now self-driving mode. The steering wheel and the pedal controls are stored away. But if you press the button, now it's turning into manual driving mode. So the steering wheel and the pedal controls is coming out. So you can drive the car yourself now. I've been working here for 10 years now. It's a great place. So here we are on the second floor. This car is called Vision GT. It was released into a PlayStation racing game, Gran Turismo. So you could actually choose this car to play the racing game. It's a virtual car. We just made it bigger for the fans. So this is interactive wall. It has 3 different topics that you can see. If you touch the pictures, you'll see all kinds of different information about Nissan and all the technology and what kind of cars and technology we will have in the future. So you can search all that kind of information. It's very popular with kids. This is called 4D VR. As you can see, the seat moves and you put on the goggle and you can feel as you're inside the car. He's inside the GT-R now. He's running on the track and you can experience how it moves by this 4D VR. It was nice having you in Nissan Crossing. If you're ever in Tokyo, please visit here.
With radical concepts and designs being such a huge part of Japan and Nissan's culture, let's head to Nissan's global headquarters to check out how that applies to Formula E and other electric vehicles. Alfonso Albesa is Nissan's head of global design, which means he has a hand in shaping every vehicle that Nissan make. and he's also the mastermind behind the stunning livery for their Formula E car.
Well, when we got word that we were going to design the livery of the new Formula E, I mean, it was so exciting because I had been following Formula E, and that the sound of the machine, you know, is so different than F1, but it's this screaming, electrified sound, and then the braking, and we had this image of what we were going to do. But on the computer screen, when we turned it on and saw the data, it was kind of this view. And what struck me immediately was this shape. It's kind of like a Brancusi sculpture, this wonderful aerodynamic, simple shape that seems to be flying. And we completely changed our minds immediately. We decided that let's keep that pure, like a bird in flight, some kind of bionic, future bird. And from there, you know, exposing the carbon fiber, bringing in that red, that passion of NISMO and that sense of racing, the history. You know, Nissan is a company that our first race was in 1936, the first organized Grand Prix in Japan, which we won, by the way. So it's been in our blood. And to then now take it with the electrification and then get on the streets and really participate in this new era, it's an honor. Here we have IDS. So when we started this project is when we started dreaming about the next Leaf, the one we just launched. And we use these show cars to help kind of bring out the essence of some of our feelings about how we want technology to be expressed, how we want the brand to reflect that. This is the first time we did about 3 years ago, which led directly to the Leaf we just launched. So many of the elements of this car translated into the production car. With the things that we really accentuated on the NISMO Leaf is, again, the sense of performance aerodynamics. The NISMO then is playing, we were inspired by some racing sailboats. So the way that the catamarans and the fins that go into the water and they bend and they foil out, we played with these movements through here, and we just created more contrast in surface, more high-tech and performance. The car has dropped a little, and so these are the things that we're doing with the NISMO, the racing, the red line that we have on our Formula E, and all of these elements that create the family of technology racing. So because of the motor now has shrank, we have freedom in the sense of packaging. And you can move them around. Instead of one engine, you can have 2 or 3 engines in an EV. And then the floor is now the battery. The source of the energy is on the floor. And so we have a lot more freedom of what to do with the car. We have been in racing since the mid-30s. And it's become part of our company, our culture. That yes, we make cars that make everyday life better, but also that we want to stir the soul, a little bit of this sense of dynamic from the racing. So what I'm wanting people to understand is that we're about innovation, we're about Japanese technology, and about making fun things. I have been in the company 30 years. We have been part of racing. We have been champions at racing, and I love it. But now to be part of Formula E at a time when Formula E has a funky shape, cool shape, that's inspired us to participate and make a funky livery. I love it. The whole experience about EV and how that's going to change every part of the human experience, including racing. It's a great time.
It's easy to see why Alfonso is regarded as being at the top of his game, and why the Nissan Leaf is the world's best-selling EV.
Let's head behind the scenes at Nissan's Opama plant to get an up-close look at their cutting-edge manufacturing. The site is more than 1.7 million square meters, employs more than 3,000 individuals, and became the first plant in Japan to use robots on the production line.
This plant is producing compact cars, including Nissan Leaf. Annual production capacity is around 240,000 units per year. Okay, this is the final inspection area. every single car just go through this area, having a final test and checking. So without this checking and inspection, any car can go out offline. The new Leaf is coming up after this one, so please check out. Yeah, it's lots of changes, and I just love working for Nissan. New experiences, new car coming up, and every experience I have is just fun. Okay, this is what we call assembly line. We do all the building up and everything. Specifically, this is for the interior trim. So lots of working for the interior, inside of the car, doing the trim on the assembly line, as you can see here. As you can see, it's quite big, but you can see a hard worker there, nice car building up. Well, this is actually, we call them an auto-guided vehicle. We use this auto-guided vehicle to transport every necessary parts to build up the parts here. See the battery over there? It's going to be mounted on this vehicle. But this is actually the EV-specific part to do the battery mount over here. So today we probably have like every 7, 8 of the car is Nissan Leaf. So if you miss this one, you have to wait another 10 minutes. Aside from the normal production line, this is a NISMO specific section. We actually hand-build NISMO parts over here. Okay, by appearance, you can feel a bit of a sporty taste. Performance-wise, you can actually feel the sporty taste by driving. So in Nissan Note, Nissan Juke, or even the Leaf, we have this NISMO version, so you can actually enjoy that feeling through NISMO. So Formula E is a new challenge, so it's already exciting. I hope it works well for us, but we would like to have the race in Japan someday.
What a nice dude, and what an impressive facility. But now it's time to rewind back to where it all began.
Way back before the world's best-selling electric vehicle, the Nissan Leaf, there was the Tama.
It first rolled out in 1947 when Japan was suffering from a massive shortage of oil. The Tama was Japan's first electric car and achieved a driving range of 65 kilometers, a maximum speed of 35 kilometers per hour, and took top honors in the first electric vehicle performance tests ever conducted.
In the small Japanese city of Zama, 25 miles southwest of Tokyo, there is Nissan's Heritage Museum, a collection over 400 strong, with around 2/3 of those on display at any one time.
Let's check out some more of Nissan's EV history to find out what paved the way for the cars of the future.
This is Prairie Joy EV, which was developed in the beginning of 1990. This is the vehicle of the first application of lithium-ion rechargeable batteries on a vehicle. This car was a base for the study of technology for the future EV application to make EV more convenient or very usable for the customers. This Hyper Mini was developed and launched into the market in year 2000. Nissan intended to make a study for the social acceptance of the EV cars, how this car is fitted into the daily use of the people. This car is developed actually on a Nissan Cube base, and then the modification for the powertrain was made, and also there may be some slight modification on the grille shape to indicate this is EV. This car is made to show how capable EV car will be if that is applied on the racing activities. So this car is developed using Leaf component, and then the chassis, etc., is a real racing car configuration. So this is really the important model to promote EVs, not only for the daily use, but to show the capability of the EV car itself. You know, when car industry made a kind of racing activity, the intention is to accelerate the development of the technology using racing opportunity. So I think Formula E will be the same opportunity for Nissan to develop its EV technology further on the actual current Leaf model.
That's nearly all we got time for in this Street Racers Japan special, but later in the series we'll be hearing even more about Nissan's entry into Formula E.
It's a quite natural choice for Nissan because we want to convey Nissan intelligent mobility to a very exciting racing format.
See you then, Street Racers. Sayonara from Japan.